Especially with social media, everybody's comparing themselves to other people, but even though those photos aren't even real, they're photoshopped. So you're comparing yourself to like a fake robot, essentially.
Welcome back to Glamour with me, Josh Smith, and today we are joined by the face of L'Oreal, and she's so worth it. I'm fangirling so hard.
We're twins. Hi.
How are you?
Great.
I mean, babes, we're bringing the pink.
I know. I'm always bringing it. Pink is my everything.
And we're all about making those boys wink.
Right.
Now, what does being worth it mean to you? And what constitutes being worth it?
I think, we are all worth it. That's is something that you struggle with. Everybody does. I definitely have, especially with social media. Everybody's comparing themselves to other people, but even though those photos aren't even real, they're photoshopped. So you're comparing yourself to like a fake robot, essentially.
But I think something really interesting you touched upon earlier is like we are living in a very almost like anxious times as well, because we're living in this world of social media. I think for someone who's grown up going through the entertainment industry and in this context of social media, how has that shaped your perception of yourself?
I went to a regular school, so I went to high school, junior high, like everything. And kind of like Instagram was just starting out.
Yeah.
I can't think about people like kids born right now, basically just with a phone, because I didn't have a phone until later, and social media wasn't really a thing. But now it's just growing so much more. But I feel like I try to really stay true to myself. I was the kid, I would wear like vintage clothes to school and like kind of wacky things, and people would like make fun of that and think that was strange. But I was actually the red carpet in the fashion world embraced that in me. Yeah. So you would think it would be like the other way around, that would be intimidating, but the fashion world actually embraced me and made me feel confident wearing my crazy clothes. So I would be like, you know what, I would go to school and I'd be like, well, you don't know, because, this is, Grace Coddington said she liked it, or, I don't know.
And you're like, you don't know nothing,
right,
babe.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought there was a confidence in the fashion world that made me feel okay to be true to myself, but I don't know, it is difficult. I think it's the most important part of all of us, that we have to just be us, but also be accepted for us, which that's the part that's hard for people. That's the hard bit.
Yeah. But if you were in the mirror, looking in the mirror, and you want to remind yourself that you were worth it, what is the pep talk you would give yourself? And what would be your worth it move? Because I feel like you've got a good hair flip in there, babe.
I think it would probably be like a little this, right? Like a little poof, a little zhuzh. My favorite feature on my face is my nose. I love my nose. So if I can look in the mirror, if I look at my nose, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go.
Look down the barrel. But what is the one product that you pop on and you're like, I'm an empowered, independent woman, put on that Destiny's Child song and let's go.
I think I have a bunch of really great products that are all in my purse right now. But Lash Paradise mascara is like my go-to mascara. It's in a pink bottle too. Also, the hair, shampoo and conditioner I use is Ever Pure L'Oreal Paris, and it's in a pink bottle too.
I'm sensing a theme.
I know. It's like I can't get away from it. I'm attracted to those products. Yeah. Like, they're pink and they're good, and they're exactly.
And they're working for you, babe.
Yeah, thanks.
That hair is looking lush. She's worth it.
Thank you. We're worth it.
Worth it. Because you seem like such an amazing ball of energy. Like positive energy, which I love. But when you have those down moments, how do you remind yourself and how do you get yourself out of those moments, would you say?
I think it's certainly hard. I think you get into that kind of that hole. We're seeing so many images all the time in our life. Like, there's just so much more content than, just like a breather, step outside, like do some physical activity, and like I box, so I kind of let my aggression out in that way. But also just like get off your phone and don't make comparisons, because we all have those days where you're just like feeling down a little bit about yourself. But I think it's really important to kind of say something that you love about yourself, because I think we're all kind of embarrassed to do that. It can be an embarrassing thing to say, like, to be put on the spot. And there was something earlier today where someone put me on the spot to say, what do you love about yourself? Like, I'm like, I don't know, should I say? Like, that's so awkward to say, but
we should be saying that more.
We should be saying it, exactly. That shouldn't be something that's discouraged. And I think there's something in society that's like, oh, you think, you know, I guess there's a difference between vanity and confidence.
100%.
So, yeah.
And I think you're also so lucky that you've worked on so many incredible films where you played very empowering characters and very far-reaching ones, like Maleficent, Beguiled, like they're all such different characters. Which one of those characters do you think's taught you the most and shaped you the most as a woman, would you say?
That's such a difficult answer. I feel like whatever the last role I did is the one that made me grow the most, because with each part, also I grew up through characters as well. I was, you know, many different ages. I started so young, so I'm constantly was learning and really growing as a young woman and working with tons of female directors that inspire me. I don't know if I can pick just one. I mean, it's special. Maleficent is special because it's the first sequel I've ever done.
Yeah.
You know, the first time I did, you know, when the first movie came out, it came out when I was 16, but I filmed it when I was 14. So I was 14, like, when I created, you know,
which is crazy.
We did that character. We just, you know, we finished last film, it's coming out soon, and I'm 21 now.
Yeah.
So getting to see a character grow that way, I've never had to do that before. I've never really had to follow a character's, like, trajectory.
Yeah.
Create all the space in between and be like, who is she now, and what do you want to represent to young people now in that character who are watching it, especially young girls, because definitely after the first film came out, I started to, young girls come up to me really thinking, you're like, you're Aurora, and this, and it's like, wow, like you owe it to them to create a strong character that that you would be proud of them wanting to be like.
And what's so amazing about you as well, from like observing your career from afar, it feels like you have a very strong sense of your own voice, which is so incredible, because I think that's also such a difficult thing to have from such a young age. How did you stay true to your inner voice, and are there times where you've had to speak out and you're like, yes, I feel more empowered from doing that?
I didn't really have necessarily a huge choice in what I got to be in when I was really young, because you have to audition and you have to get the part, and if you get a part, you're like, yeah, exactly. So that it weirdly worked out that those directors that I worked with when I was so young were really incredible directors, like Sofia Coppola or Alejandro Inarritu. Like, I got, when I was so young, they picked me, but I wasn't like, you know what, I'm gonna do at 7 like an Alejandro Inarritu film. You know, like I had to audition. Being on those film sets, you also kind of learn what you want out of this career and you want out of this passion. And once I've gotten older and can sometimes pick my own stuff, but sometimes not. I don't know. I gravitate towards certain things. I think the filmmakers are a big part of it, people that are in the film, the fellow actors. It's like, if it's just someone you really want to work with, sometimes you're like, I just want to be in this to be around them and experience that. But with characters, someone I want to be people that are very different from myself, and I like pressured situations. So whatever is like the most challenging, or if I can just make myself feel very uncomfortable, I feel like I feel comfortable in that space.
What's the time when you've felt uncomfortable and pushed yourself the hardest? I
mean, I did Teen Spirit, which is a film where I sing in that film.
Which is amazing, plot spoiler, by the way.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool, amazing. But that was, doing those performances, we did live performances, and it was such a challenge. I think it was just such a challenge, but overcoming that fear of being on stage and performing in front of, extras that are, we're paying them to hear me, right? So maybe one day it'll be the other way around. But they had to applaud because they were paid to. Yeah. So, but still, singing is very embarrassing, good or bad. Like, it's just something very vulnerable about singing. Like, there's nothing that you can hide behind. It's just you hit the notes, you feel the emotion, and it's very just telling. It's like a truth serum. Like, when someone sings, you can you can kind of tell if they have like a sensitive soul, or I don't know. Like, you can just tell. So I was just scared that I was gonna be like a fraud, and just working at that. I think it's a scary feeling that you're like, maybe I'm not good enough to do this, you know. But it was very empowering after those performances, like feeling like you accomplished something, and like the adrenaline high is so insane. Like it's so I get how people are like addicted to the like performing on stage like that. I've never done stage work, so
we need to get you out on tour.
Yeah,
this is what we need to do. I'll get the banner, you find the arena, we'll make it happen.
Great.
For more amazing, empowering interviews with such epic, incredible women as Elle Fanning, make sure you subscribe to the Glamour UK channels now. Have you done it?
I'm going to do it.